Welcome back to the channel. Today we have 2026 Jan P3 walkthrough. It is Edmond. Don't forget to subscribe. Question 9, we have this function h of x, and they want us to express this function in this format. Now, when you look at this function carefully, this function is quite different from what we already see. So what you'll need to do first, we need to simplify this function first in the way that we can turn it into this format. Now, I've written this down. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to try to simplify this expression as much as possible. So I have h of x as equal to 8 plus 3. Now, I'm going to open the brackets here. Plus 3 into sine of x, cos of x, minus, when open the bracket, you have 6 into sine times sine, which is going to be sine of squared x. You remember, you know the expression here. I'll write it here. The expression you should remember here is that cos of 2 theta is equal to 1 minus 2 sine squared of theta. That means that make sine squared theta the subject. I have 2 sine squared theta as equal to, I'll move the sine here and the cos here, 1 minus cos of 2 theta. So I'm going to replace it here. So my h of x is going to be equal to 8 plus 3 sine of x, cos of x, minus, because this is supposed to be 2, but we have 6 over here, it's going to be minus 3 into 1 minus cos of 2 theta. But also, this is sine of 2 theta, so I'm going to change it as well. So I will have this as h of x is equal to 8 plus 3, but this expression is supposed to be sine of 2x is supposed to be 2 sine x cos of x, but what you have here is 3, so I'll just forget about the 3 and then insert here. I'm going to put there, because just the sine of that, I'll put there a half sine of 2x. Now this is only that expression, so minus 3 plus cos of 2x. Why am I writing theta? It's supposed to be x. It's supposed to be x. Now, what we have here is that h of x is equal to 8 plus 3 over 2 sine of 2x minus 3 plus, this is a 3. The 3 has to multiply here and also has to multiply there. So there's a 3 over there, minus 3 cos of 2x. Now, when you see your final expression here is h of x is equal to the 8 and 3 here becomes 5. Then you have 3 over 2 sine of 2x plus 3 cos of 2x. Now, this is the first part of the equation. They want the equation in this format here. That means our p is 5. So p is equal to what? P is equal to 5. Now, if p is equal to 5, so what I need to do now, because h of x should equal into p plus r sine of 2x plus alpha. Now, we already have our p as 5, so it means that I just need to change the expression which is left, which is this expression here. I just have to change this expression which is left here into this format. So I just have to say that my r sine of 2x plus alpha should be the expression which is 3 over 2 sine of 2x plus 3 cos of 2x. Now, I know there's shortcuts for this, but I prefer to expand the bracket so that you guys know what actually I'm trying to do over here. So we expand the bracket for this and then compare coefficients. So you have r, this is a sine and plus, going to be r sine of 2x cos of alpha plus r cos of 2x sine of alpha. These ones here, they're equivalent to 3 over 2 sine of 2x plus 3 cos of 2x. Now I can compare the coefficients. Now what you should know already, remember this method, what you should know already, that your value of r is always equal to, your r is always equal to the square root of 3 squared, 3 over 2 squared, plus 3 squared. So your r, the r value, it's the simplest to find. And so when you square root this, you have 3 root of 5 over 2. Now, how do you find the alpha? The alpha, I always want you to do the comparing. Some people have it like, oh, it's always over b, or it's always tan inverse of this. So I always want to do the comparing. So compare this to expression. So this is sine, and then this is sine. That means what's left here is r cos of alpha is equal to 3 over 2. And then for this one here, you compare, it's going to be this. You can see the cos is here, and the cos is, that means r sine of alpha is equal to 3. I'm going to divide so I can get the tan. So tan of alpha is going to be equal, this is the sine, so we're going to be dividing this on the other side. All right, it's going to be the 3 over 2, which is equal to 2, and then you have your tan inverse. So alpha is, remember the angle is in radian, so 1.1007. How do I know it is in radians? When I go back in my equation, I can see here in the equation that the alpha is in what? Is in radians. That's how I know. So that means our final answer is that our expression hx is equal to p, which is 5, plus r, which is 3 root of 5 over 2, into sine of 2x plus alpha, which is 1.107. All right. Part B of the equation state the range of h. Now, the h, now what we have, we are not thinking about the h that we have over here. I don't think about the h in this format here. All the h has now been changed to that format. So anything think about in terms of h should be about this equation. So if they say the range of h, that means we are looking at this equation here. What's the range of h? What's the maximum, and what's what? And what is the minimum? Now, when you look at this equation, the minimum and maximum are going to be determined by this sine function. But what we know, the sine function has a maximum of +1 and a minimum of negative what? -1. When this function is at maximum, that means we have the maximum value as 5 plus, this is 1 multiplied by this number, so you have 3 root 5 over 2. And now for the minimum, you're going to have 5 minus, because this is going to be -1, and then this is going to make this going to be -3 root 5 over 2. 3 root 5 over 2. That means the range of h, that means h of x, it is between 5 plus 3 root 5 over 2 and 5 minus 3 root 5 over 2. That is the range. We can use the same concept to answer this, because this is asking us to find the point M, which is the minimum point. Now, all we need to do first, we understand, we are going to ask ourselves, how do we get this minimum value? We got this minimum value because this sign was taking on the minimum value of -1. That means for part C, our point M will happen at the point where the sine of 2x plus 1.07 is equal to -1. That's the point, that's the condition that will happen at what? Will happen at M. But the only condition you have to see here is that M, there are two values of M, the first M over here and then the second one. So you have to be very careful with that. So it has calculated. So if that's a condition, you need to calculate this equation. And what we're going to do to calculate this equation, we are going to take the sine inverse. That means 2x plus 1.107 is equal to the sine inverse of 1. When you press a calculator, you get pi by 2, which is 90. And when you try to think about the sine graph, here, your angle you're getting over here is -90, which is on the other side, which is on this side. But you know the other angle is over here, which is 270. 270 is 90 times 3. That means it's 3 times 90, which is 3 over 2 pi. And we can get more angles. Why can we get more angles? Because the x we are talking about here, the x was between this the alpha. Where's our x? Our x here is between 0 and 2 pi. But what we have in our expression, we have 2x. That means the 2x between 0 and 4 pi. And also we have added on alpha. That means we need to get more angles. So what we do, we go ahead and find the next angle here. The next angle you're going to go ahead and add. You're going to go ahead and add 2 pi to get this other angle over here. We're going to add 2 pi, and when you add 2 pi, what you're going to have here, you're going to have 7 over 2 pi. Then you calculate your x, so that means your x equals to, I will not use this because it's going to be a negative. I will only use 3 pi by 2 minus 1.07, well, all of it over 2. That's what I'm going to do. I don't write this one again. All of it over 2. And I also have 7 over 2 pi minus 1.107, all of it over 2. My culprit, the one I'm looking for, is this one over here. Because remember, in the diagram there, I have 2 values. So the first value is this one here. What I'm looking for is the second value, which is this. And that x value is going to be 4.944 already. And that will be the x value that I'm looking for. Thank you.